Hello soulmates, welcome back to my channel. This is Sew with Pivots. So today we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful halter neck top and 3-tier skirt. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. To make this, I made use of half yards of Duchess fabric, 1.5 yards of chiffon fabric, and then 1 yard of lining. Now I went ahead to fold my Duchess fabric into 4, so we are cutting the back and the front at the same time. So our fabric is folded into 4, so we go ahead and take our measurements. The length of my top is 18 inches plus half inches for hemming, 18.5 inches. So for her neckline, I'm going to be marking out 3 inches. What I basically did was her shoulder measurement is 12 inches, so I divided by 4. That's how I got my 3 inches. So for the armhole measurement, I'll be taking 6 inches. So her chest measurement is 30 inches, divided by 4 is 7.5 inches, plus 1.5 inch seam allowance, 9 inches. So I marked 9 inches on the chest line. I also marked 9 inches at the hem of the top. So we're going to go ahead and connect it straight up. And then we also go ahead and connect the neckline to the armhole, to the chest line, kind of like this. Then we go ahead and cut. Now after cutting, I'm going to take out one piece. So let me work on the front piece first of all. So on the front piece, I'm going to come down from the neckline by ½ inches, just ½ inches. I'll come down by ½ inches, connect it back like this, and then I'm going to cut it off. So after doing that, I'm going to keep it aside and then work on the back piece. The back piece is going to be having a button so that our head can easily pass through. So I'm going to come down by 5 inches. So I'll just take my scissors and just simply open up that point to that 5 inches point, and then this is what we have. So I've opened it up. This is what we have. So we'll go ahead and then finish it up with a bias strip. So I'm going to finish it up, and then I also finish up the armhole with a bias strip. I'll go ahead and do the same thing to the front to finish the armhole up with a bias strip, and then this is what we have. So I've finished this up with a bias strip. So the next thing we're going to do is to place our front bodies on our back bodies, and then we go ahead and join the sides. So basically I'm going to be sewing on 1 inches, or you can basically use the allowance you left and sew. So this is basically what we have. We've joined it. So basically we have to work on our neckline, but first of all we'll go ahead and fold the hem of our top and then we sew it. So the next thing we're going to be doing after this is to cut our neck collar, and her round neck measurement that I'm using is 19 inches. So plus 1 inch seam allowance is what, 10 inches. So what I did is I have this piece of fabric, I'll fold it into 2, then fold it into 2 again. So I basically folded this piece of fabric into 4. Then I'll go ahead and mark out 6 inches all round. I'll just mark out 6 inches like this. Okay, so after marking out the 6 inches, I'll go ahead and connect it like this, and then I'll go ahead and measure to be sure we have our neck measurement. Remember what we want to get is what, 20 inches. So divided by 2, we want to get 10 inches. So this is it. So I'll just mark it out at that point. I'll just mark it out. Okay, now the width of our collar is 1 inches plus ½ inch seam allowance. That's 1.5 inches. So I'll just simply mark out 1.5 inches all round. So basically you can cut your collar like in just a straight piece, but I think I prefer this because I feel like it laps more, like it doesn't give that gap kind of. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut after connecting. So after cutting, you can go ahead and iron paper stay or stay on it to give it structure. So you can see we have 2 pieces of this. So I went ahead to iron paper stay, and then I will sew from here to here and then to this point. And then this is what we have. I already ironed my paper stay on it, and then I went ahead to sew it. So I'll go ahead and notch, or you can simply cut off the excess fabric. So after notching, I'll turn it out, and then I'll go ahead and iron it so that it can stay in place. And then this is what we have. So I'm going to fold it into two, and then I was trying to trim off the excess, then I'll notch the center point. Then I'm going to bring my main bodice also. I'll fold the front into two and also get the center point. Okay, so I'm going to simply match those two notches already made, and then we'll sew from here to here, and then we'll go to the back. We'll sew from the edge, you can see me, from the edge to this place. So let me go ahead and sew it, and then this is what we have. We already sewed one part. Now to finish up the collar, I'm going to take it in this way, and then we'll fold it in this way. You can first of all fold using a pressing iron so that it will be easy. So we'll fold it this way, and then we'll go ahead and sew it all round. And then this is what I have after sewing. I already folded the hem also. I finished up the collar. So the next thing I'm going to do is fix my hook and eye on that collar piece, and then that's all for the top. So the next thing, we're going to head over to the cutting of the skirt. Now first of all, for the skirt, I'll first of all be cutting the lining piece. Okay, so this is my fabric. I'm going to fold it into two like this. I'll fold it into two like this. After folding it like this, then I'll go ahead and fold it like a triangle. So I'll fold it again like this, like a triangle. So we folded it into four. So we are cutting a half circle skirt. So basically, like, I want the waistline to be more than her waist, you understand, because I'm going to be using elastic to gather it. So I basically came down by 10 inches. Basically, if I wanted to get her exact waistline, I would have divided her waistline by 3.14 inches. But I want to have excess here. Her waistline is 28 inches. So I just came down by 10 inches. Now let me confirm what I have here. I have 8.5 inches. Multiplied by 4 is about 34 inches, which will give me excess. It will give me what I want. Now for her skirt length, I went ahead to come down by 16 inches. Her skirt length is 18 inches. So I basically deducted 2, that is 16 inches. So by the time we add back our band and then our frills, we'll be getting our length of 18 inches. You understand? So I'll go ahead and connect it like this. And then after connecting it, we go ahead and cut. So after cutting, this is basically what we have. I went ahead to notch the center point. So let me open it up so that you see what we have. This is what we have. Our half circle skirt is ready. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it into segments where we're going to be fixing our frills on. So what I did was I came down by 5.5 inches, and I'm going to mark it all round. So this is where our second step will be. Our first step will start from the upper part. Then our second tier is going to start from this point we are marking. Okay, so we're going to connect it like this, and then this is what it is looking like. So the next thing, we're going to connect to get our next tier, and then we'll mark the same 5.5 inches. So take the same 5.5 inches all round. And then that is where our third tier is going to be starting from. So after doing this, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and measure what we have all round. So let me start from this our waistline. That's where we'll be fixing our first frill from. And what we have is what, 37.5 inches. Okay, then we go ahead and measure the second, and then we measured, and then what we have for the second one is 51 inches. So I'm going to write it out. 51 inches. Then we go ahead and measure the third one, which is our last, and then we measured it all round. and then what we have after measuring it is 69 inches. So I'm going to, so my tape finished here, this is 60 inches, so I'll continue, and then what we have here is 69 inches. So I'm going to write it down, 69 inches. So now this is what we have. So basically you can multiply it by 2 or 2.5 depending on the fabric you have. So for me, I'm basically multiplying my measurements by 2. So 39.5 inches, sorry, 37.5 inches multiplied by 2 is what? 75 inches. 51 multiplied by 2 is what? 102 inches. 102 inches. Okay, so now basically this is the length of the fabric we are going to be cutting. You understand? So after getting this, I went ahead and cut it out, and this is what we have. Now for the width of our frills, we have 7 inches, and it's the same for the 3 steps, 7 inches. Remember what we had initially was 5.5, right? Yes, but I measured 7 inches, you know, to make up for allowances and all that. So for some pieces, you might have to join them together, you understand, so that you get the length you want. The next thing we're going to do, go ahead and run a gather stitch, and then this is what we have. Sorry, it wasn't really clear at this point. So but you go ahead and fix it on each step accordingly. So this is what we have after joining. This is what we have. So this is our third step, this is our second step. We've sewn it, then we flip it over like this, and then this is our first step. Our first step, we just basically sewed it on it like that. So this is what we have. So now, but please take notes, I left like ½ inches before I started sewing, you understand? Now the reason why I did that is so that I can easily join my frills together, you understand? So I left like ½ inches, and I did so on all the frills piece. You can see I left like ½ inches before sewing. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to bring my fabric to fabric, and then I will sew. I'll do so for the first step, I'll do so for the second step, and then I'll go ahead and also do so for the third step. So we're going to be joining fabric to fabric, and then we sew. So after sewing, this is what we have. You can see how it's looking, you can see the finishing. So now we're going to turn it over to the back so that we can go ahead and join the lining piece. And then this is what we have for the back, you can see it. So now when we're joining this lining piece, so definitely the fabric piece won't be sewn to it. So we'll go ahead now and sew. So we've sewn it, and then this is what we have. So let me go ahead and turn it over so that you see what it looks like from the front part. And then this is what we have. So the next we're going to be working on is the waistline. For our waistband, the width we're going to be using is what? 3 inches. 3 inches, while the length we're going to be using is 37.5 inches. So we go ahead and fold it into 2 like this, and then we sew. Okay, now for the elastic, this is the elastic we're going to be using, and then the length of this elastic is 19 inches. So we'll go ahead and fold it into 2, and then we sew. So now this is what we have. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and fix in the elastic into the waistband, and then fold my waistband into 2, and then I'm going to sew all round. And then this is what we have. So let me show you. This is my main piece, and then this is what we have for the band. So we're going to place it on the skirt, and then we're going to be sewing it all round, and our skirt is simply ready. And then this is what we have. So we go ahead now and weave the edge of this my frills. You can go ahead and sew. I think I would prefer to weave. And then this is the end result of what we have. Please, if you know you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, share to other sew lovers. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.